So when people move away from the cities, they bring their income with them, right? So there's less income to support public services. And that is a waste of the land. The other problem I want to mention about this slide is a higher infrastructure and energy cost. Extension of municipal services is more expensive than supplying services to areas already in the city. That's why sometimes people prefer building around the city than making changes to the city. This is examples of loss of forest habitat, loss of agricultural land, and the loss of rangeland habitat. Because we humans build houses, airports, highways on those natural areas. This is how the open space and the farmland got lost. And of course, it brings the problem, unplanned growth bring the problems of the air and the water pollution. Low energy efficiency. So driving cars, as we discussed before, are not a very efficient use of energy. And the public transportation in highly populated area is smarter. And the separations of homes and the business requires additional driving. This is why sometimes we want to mix the housing and the shopping area altogether and shorten the distance of driving and reduce carbon footprint. Stop and go traffic patterns, and we all know how frustrating that is. And that wastes a lot of energy also. Single-family homes are less efficient than multi-family dwellings, like condos, townhouses, and the spread out housing area consumes a lot of space and land and energy. I want to mention about the floodplain problem. Of course, we have a lot of problems if we don't do smart planning in the beginning. And I want to mention this very unique floodplain problems because we suffer by living in the area with a lot of rain and close to the ocean. Many cities originally established along waterways are located in floodplains, and the flat land would be better put to use as open space or recreation. Unfortunately, we put a lot of industrial activities, we build a residential area on the floodplains, so the development increased economic losses. How? Let's go to page textbook, page 283. And this picture shows the three big rivers, Missouri River, Mississippi River, Illinois River. Unfortunately, because of the global warming, the rivers flooded more frequently than before. They probably used to flood every 100 to 200 years, but with the global warming, they probably flood like every 50 years. And 50 years, 100 years sounds like a long time to us, but when it happens, it's very disastrous. Let's look at the textbook here. On page 283, in 1993, during an extensive flooding event that involved both the Mississippi River and the Missouri River, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers estimated over 1.5 billion in damage to residential and commercial property. And in 2010, the damage caused by the flood in Nashville, Tennessee was estimated at the US $1.9 billion. Even it is a once 100, or of course this is like in 20 years, right? It's not even 100 years. When it's happened, there's a lot of damage and the loss of billions of dollars. So when we do the urban planning, we probably have to look down 500 years. But I can tell you when this happens, it is very disastrous, like hurricane. Well, probably not as bad as hurricane, but we have to have that in our mind. Why land use misuse? We thought those wetlands are not useful. Actually, they're very important, as I mentioned before. And the geology and the resource limitations. Geological status must be considered in land use decisions. And the building on earthquake-prone faults has led to the loss of life and the property, and the building on unstable hillside and the fire-prone area is also unwise. So that is why analysis of the uniqueness of the land, it is very important. Before planning, understanding your land is crucial. So we talk about a bunch of problems, right? When we do not plan very well, when we do not understand about our lands, we do not look into the long-term benefits, but rushing into meeting the short-term benefits like economic needs, we suffer. So what should we do then? Land use planning principles. A basic rule should be to make as few changes as possible. That's why I emphasize this point again and again. You'd rather spend more time planning than rushing into doing something. Because fixing the error is more than building new things. So the land use decisions are usually made involving the public, private landowners, developers, government, and the special interest groups. So it's a community thing. And we have to do this together. We have to have very good communications, different parties who have different interests, right? And communicate with each other as good as possible. And of course, we cannot meet everybody's needs, but as I said, communication is important. And we have to all get on the same page. What goals we need to reach. I put this picture of New York City on the right side. That is very well planned, and meeting all the needs of the people. You know, we have place to work, we have place to relax. So when changes are needed, what are the principles we should do about planning? Definitely evaluate and preserve unique features of the land. I want to emphasize here, conserve open space and environmental features. Many cities, many people do not realize this before planning. And you want to mix uses in close proximity and consider your transportation options. And set limits and require managed growth patterns with compact development. Enough is enough. If you know building houses will cause more flooding problems, then you better stop it. Excuse my language. And encourage development in areas with existing infrastructure to see what else we can do in a cheap way to make things better than building new structures in the rural areas. Those are very good examples of urban planning.